Welcome to another DragonLance Saga readings episode. My name is Adam, and today I'm reading the DC comic DragonLance number 29, A Sort of Homecoming. I'd like to take a moment and thank the members of this channel, and invite you to consider becoming a member by visiting the link in the description below. The glass seas of Taladas. Blown about by fierce winds, a lone sand skimmer careens wildly towards its destination. Home. The Glass Rider oasis looms before it, a majestic fortress, shelter from the harsh elements of these shining lands. But its doors remain sealed, its arms of welcome cold and static. A sort of homecoming. We're coming in too fast! This blasted storm! Our rudders are useless and we cannot stop! Steady, Riva! And Tara, why are the doors not opening? I don't know! They do not respond to the usual magic word of entry, and if we hit them at our present speed, we've had it! Marigese, you and Sulai, do something! These Glass Rider magics are strange to us, Riva, but we will try. Hold on, Scrum. I have you. What good is it? We're doomed, Griffin! Must concentrate. Even the elves can't help us now. Our friends have no faith in us, brother. Even Hester has lost all hope. Open, open, open. Oh, please, open, open. The doors, they are opening. But is it too late? With furious momentum, the ship races uncontrollably towards the mammoth doors. Mighty beams of cedar crack with reluctant motion as the elves' magic slowly pries them apart. On board, muscles tense and breaths are withheld. Petitions to deities sound in every heart. Well, Riva, if your god Paladine is real, I hope he's watching. I know he is, Antara. The ship lunges forward, its speed unrelenting. The gap widens slowly. The ship's stern stabs the opening, but the berth is too narrow. Strained wood bellows on a cacophonous din. Contact! In a violent rain of jagged debris, the ship plows through the exploding doorway into safety. Scrush! And after a rough landing, I am angry beyond description, Riva. If not for the elves, we would have been killed. Who would change the word of entry? And I hope Qatar is faring well in the shardstorm out there. Qatar is a resourceful dragon. He's doubtlessly soaring above the storm. Scrum, you can come down now. I have secured the ramp. I am anxious to show you my adopted home. Huh? Footsteps? Captain Antara, it is one of the council. Soon after, at the foot of the ramp, Antara, greetings to you and your outsiders, Eris. She has brought more outsiders into our midst. Please excuse Krynn. He is quite overzealous in his new position as our tribal mage. His predecessor was killed recently by raiding Horax, thrusting Krynn into a very demanding position at quite a tender age. The demands of protocol escape him. Welcome home, Captain Antara. It is good to be home, Eris. It has been too long. Aye, it... Halt, Eris! Go no further! You both know the way. Captain Antara and her crew have been on the mainland. They are unclean. They must go through the rites of purification before any contact can be made. Antara, who is this impetuous... Hold, Riva. He speaks the truth. It is his duty as tribal mage. So, Antara has brought in the unclean and the meddling. This outsider is closer to the god of good than any glass rider could ever hope to be. You would do well to treat her as such. And suddenly... Ellis, they've returned! The Horax are raiding the fields! Riva? We're right behind you. Outside, under the parting clouds of the dwindling shardstorm, the Glass Rider harvest fields are besieged by a swarm of Horax. The ravenous creatures devour the crops, threatening the tribe's food supply, but soon face resistance from the Glass Folk and their new allies. At last! Action! I'm just glad to be off the blasted boat! Go with caution, landfolk. The Horax are quite formidable. Does it ever end, Antara? You now bring the unclean into our fields? Be thankful, whelp. Without our help, you may not have any fields. Hefner's bones! These bugs have built-in armor! Scrang! Their shells are almost impenetrable, Scrum. Thwomp. Riva, go for the underbelly. Talk. Clang. Ah! They wield their mandibles like blades. Overwhelming in strength and number, the Horax wage bloody mischief. My foot, Griffin! Can you... My pleasure, Eris. Just a... Fwap! Skink! Their numbers are too great. We are in need of strong magics. Atop a nearby hill, the three mages stand poised above the fray. Hold fast, Sulai. Our gains are small, but we must persevere. They multiply while we lose many warriors. We must use stronger spells. That would be unwise, young one. The Horax and the warriors are too close. Stronger blasts would be too dangerous. Young one? You will see the awesome might of this young one, mainlander. Fire spell! Horax, begone! Cray, no! There is at once a blinding fury and an overwhelming wave of heat so great even blind Maragese turns away. What have you done? The Horax writhe in pockets of flame, a menace no more. But the fire quickly spreads, engulfing the fields. More! Riva, wrap him in this cloak! The fire is out of control! Surely the elves would not be so careless. No, they would not. Come, Tenor, we must get you to the cliffs. You arrogant pup! Your rash actions have caused much destruction. I pray we can contain the fire. Fire! No! The fields! The next morning, Riva helps to clear what remains of the fields. Just a little further. Whew. If only this were Cray. His little display has cost us nearly a season's harvest. All would have been lost if the elves had not interceded. Then surely he will be punished. Indeed, his spell has depleted our food supply. The council will sentence him in accordance with our code. Code? which means death. Death? Antara! Krynn has made a grave mistake, but he's only a boy, a child. How can you glass riders be so hardened? Survival, Riva. These harsh lands demand it. Speechless, Riva watches the lifeless Horax fall into the flame, sending sparks and cinders drifting into the heavens. That night, Riva's petitions to Paladine are interrupted by muffled sobs. Quietly following the sound, she arrives at Kray's chamber. Moved by his tears, she parts the curtain to enter and... Riva! Do not enter. It is best you remain uninvolved. Antara? But I merely sought to comfort him. Surely as noble as I have seen the Glass Riders to be, you would realize that Paladine would have to show the boy mercy. I admit you have a special purpose on Talados, Riva, possibly of a divine nature. I am not yet sure, but this is our affair. You are a guest here, and will act accordingly. Later, as Krynn faces the council, most of our ships are out until next season, Krynn. Until they arrive with provisions, our people face possible starvation. Enough! I cannot stand idly by. Surely there must be a more merciful punishment. He is but a boy. Away, mainlander! This is a matter among the glass folk. You are an honored guest, Knight of Solamnia, but this intrusion cannot be allowed. But I have no choice. I've been sent here to do the work of Paladine, who I am convinced is the same nameless god of good you already worship. Then you should be pleased, most spirited knight, with our decision. Krynn is to be exiled, sent out into the deserts, where this god of whom you speak shall decide his fate. Later, a somber gathering watches Krynn make his way into the desert. Pulling his cloak close to his body, Krynn feels the slight sting of small glass fragments, the first wave of an approaching shardstorm. We are tested in this land of beauty and death, wrote the Glass Rider prophets, that through its hardships we may be proven worthy of providence once again. As it was before the rains, so shall it ever be. The storm is at hand. We must secure the entrance. Seal the doors! And as the group disperses, such a waste of life. He's so young. Then we must do something, Antara. Save him. That which I would do, I cannot. I am a captain, a leader, a position that requires no less than absolute respect for discipline. If I were one such as you, an unfettered prophet on some glorious quest. But I have responsibility to my people, and I am bound to honor our ways. Later that night, Riva stands poised on a ledge, peering into the intensifying shardstorm. I pray he has not gone too far, Maragese. There he is! Kitar! At the sight of her winged comrade, Riva is at once filled with a renewed confidence and determination. Even if we are successful in locating the boy, Riva, how will you convince the glass folk to allow his return? To be honest, Maragese, I have no idea. I suppose that should not surprise me. Our search must be brief. I will not be able to indefinitely maintain such a wide sphere of protection in this growing storm. Within moments, the knight and the mage are airborne, protected by magic, propelled by Kitar's might. Your attraction to hopeless situations is unfailing, Riva. Even with the sphere, flying in this storm is difficult. I know, Kitar, but he could not have gone far. Just a few more. Down there! There he is! Take us down, Qatar! Riva, hurry! My spell has reached its limits. No, surely he is not dead? Kray! We've come to take you back, but we must hurry! No, there is nothing for me in there. I am not welcome. I have no time to argue with you, boy! Meanwhile, back at the oasis. Secure them tightly! The doors must not be breached! Eris, I must have words with you. You know very well that Riva and her friends will perish in the storm if not allowed to re-enter. I had problems accepting Kray's exile, but this is unacceptable. She is gone to retrieve Kray. She has broken our laws. The decisions of the council must be enforced. You are a glass rider, Antara. You cannot allow a stranger to make you lose sight of who you are. Now, will you stand with your people or against them? Eris, they approach on the wings of a dragon. Quickly, Eris calls. We haven't much time. The glass riders dutifully comply, muscles strain with effort against the mammoth doors. Most of them have never before seen a dragon, and Qatar's growing form fills them with fear. But there is the law. They must uphold the code of purity, expunge the unclean, or they would surely be overcome by the tempestuous climes of their homeland. The dragon draws closer. Closer. This can only be another test of the gods, but the beast is upon them. Spewing the fury given his kind by the gods, Qatar bursts through the oasis doors. Seeking shelter from the flying debris, the glass riders scatter. Chaos erupts. Eris, we must talk! The mainlander, take her! You're a stubborn lot. Is there no end to your tenacity? Puck! This is pointless, Eris. Your people have suffered enough. No, she's brought me back. Suffered? It is you who now disrupts our way of life. Is that the way of your god? Riva, you must stop this at once. Surrender now, and I'll see that they allow you to leave. Otherwise, I cannot allow you to continue. Your intentions are honorable, Riva, but this has gone too far. Stop, please. But our friendship, Antara. These are my people. You cannot change that. And suddenly, Kray? Torn by the conflict over his fate, a desperate Kray lunges at Eris. Torment me no longer, Eris. Set me free and end it now! But then, shtuk! Kray's attack is cut short by the hands of the glass sailor god. Where did that arrow? The choice was yours, Kray, and so it now ends. Tanal is the archer Riva and Antara saved in the fields, a victim of Kray's rash act. No more, wizard. Now become the architect of the child mage's downfall. I failed, Antara. May Paladine and your people forgive me. The next morning, as preparations are made for departure. Even after all this, Antara, I hope we're still friends. Riva, you have led me to question many things which are part of me, and I know not if that be blessing or curse. I've truly made a mess of things. Kray is dead, and your people are not exactly receptive to my messages of Paladine. You have much to learn about Taladas, Riva. Paladine does not walk among my people, Riva. You've set yourself a fool's errand, one fraught with peril. A quest is what you make of it, Captain. Adventure is where you find it. Next, Ron Randall and Randy Ellett return in the first of a 3-book epic. A 16-year-old Riva Silvercrown is drawn into a war. Don't dare miss Sword of the Kinslayer, on sale in 30 days. Thank you for tuning in to this DragonLance Saga reading. What do you think of the comic? Have you ever read Dragonlance comics before? Feel free to email me at info@dlsaga.com or leave a comment below. This channel is all about celebrating the wonderful world of the Dragonlance Saga, and I thank you for joining me in the celebration. Thank you for watching. This has been Adam with Dragonlance Saga, and until next time, Slàinte mhath.